Hi friends, we are back for round 2 of what I have crocheted since I learned 3 months ago. So this is everything I crocheted in May, June, and July. And oh yeah, I'm Karen. And this is Yarnandwhimsydesigns. So thanks for coming back. If you have not seen part 1, please check it out. There was a ton of things in part 1 of this video, and part 2, not quite as much, as with part 1, I will put pictures up here of listings or patterns that I am mentioning, so please check out here, and then I'll try to link everything I can if possible below. There were a couple I couldn't find good links for last time, but everything should be listed that I can possibly list. So I'm gonna start with just some functional, not so pretty things that I felt like I needed to crochet along the way. So this is so ugly. And this was just a flat circle. I guess not, it was like this is like a little cup. I just picked up a hook and started crocheting. This is very early on, just to see if I could work on my increases and decreases. And anyway, this has now molded to my cup holder on my sofa. I have a reclining sofa and I have a cup holder. And basically I attach like stitch markers here on the outside. On the inside, I have assorted stitch markers. So they're just kind of always there where I need them. And inside there, I used to stick needles also, just put needles in here, but they stuck out a little bit and they were a little menacing. So I changed that and I made this little heart from a YouTube tutorial, which I'll put right up here and link below. And I just made this little heart. And again, it's got, you can see a stitch marker and some darning needles, and they live in this cup holder with all these things. So that's just handy to have. And then I made this because I found that when I was crocheting for a long period on one piece, I would get this indent in this tender spot on my finger where I hold the yarn, where the yarn kind of goes across. And so I used some scrap yarn and I made myself a little finger cover just by chaining like, I don't know, 9 or 10 chains around and then just continuing in the round up until it was long enough. And then I just run the little yarn over this and it's super comfy. So I use this all the time. In fact, I should probably make a couple of them to have in different spots in the house because I'm always chasing it down. If you guys have solutions for that are better or different than this, let me know. I did look at gloves, but as I was looking, I got really indecisive and I'm like, I can crochet something for that. So that's what I did. All right, so let's see what else we have done. If you've been to my Instagram, which I will put right here, I posted these in a reel the other day because these are like the thing of the season. I started making them several weeks ago, and since I made my first one, I've seen them pop up all over the place. Everybody's videos, everybody's feeds are posting them. This is that Oak and Marlow chicken pattern, and I think they are adorable. I saw someone recently make them with much bigger eyes, which I also thought was super cute. This pattern is so good, and it is so relaxing and easy to do. It's just so straightforward. I mean, I have, I think, 7 or 8 of them, and I made some with a smaller hook size. So you can see this is my little baby one, and this is one of my bigger, my bigger mamas and my little baby. Same pattern, same exact stitch count. I just altered, and same yarn. I just did different size hooks to make them bigger or smaller. So I have a whole little chicken family, which I adore, and a whole nother skein of this yarn. But I also have seen some really pretty browns and stuff in the same similar tweed yarn that I want to get, but I haven't found it in stock near me, so I probably just need to order it. So Mabel the chicken. Okay, also here's another staple that everybody sees. I did some chunky boy mushrooms. This one has a mouth, this one doesn't. I don't know which I prefer. I just think they're super cute. I think I have a few of them. Maybe not all here in this bin, but I made a few of them. These are also, I think I have, oh here, I have a purple and white one. This one's a little smaller because this was done in Bernat and this was done in Premier Parfait Chunky. So, but I've made a few of them. They're also a really fun, simple, easy pattern to make. They make up really fast. So when I'm just like sitting around watching a show or having a relaxing evening, this is a pattern that I gravitate towards. Same as the octos are super easy, and those little chicks are super easy. Those are just fun, relaxing patterns to do that don't take a lot of time. So, all right, also, oh, I made this for my son. I bought this Velux yarn on Amazon, and I don't know what I expected it to be. I expected it to be more like a Bernat velvet or Parfait Chunky kind of weight, but it is not. It is really thin. And at first I'm like, forget it. I cannot use this thin. You know what? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna show you. Wait here. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. It's, you can see it here. It is super thin, 4 weight, but velour, velvety kind of yarn. And I got it and I was thinking, oh my gosh, there is no way. I had been used to using the Bernat and the Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles Light. I had been using a ton, and they are so much thicker than this. I got this, I put it on my hook, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I can't, this is gonna take forever. So I put it aside, I threw it away. Like, I should return it, but I'm pretty lazy, so I didn't return it. And then I just like pulled it out again the other day, after having a lot more crochet hours under my belt. And I'm like, this isn't so bad. And I turned it into the cutest little elephant. And I made it in honor of my son. He doesn't want it. He's not into crochet animals as much as I wish he would be. So I made this though because elephants are his favorite. And he has a little elephant named Andy. Andy with his elephant named Andy. And so I just thought this was so sweet. This is the sweetest pattern. It worked up relatively easy. It did take some time. You can see there's lots of rows here. It's just that they're very small rows because the yarn is very light weight compared to most plush yarns, but it's so pretty. It is really soft and I really love it. I'm really proud of it actually. I think it turned out really cute. These are all sewn. You had to sew on all the pieces. So, except for the trunk was part of the head. So it was a labor of love, but I really like it, so. Okay, oh, I finally made an axolotl. And this is a free pattern from Instagram. And I don't know how I feel about it. Honestly, I didn't know what an axolotl was before I started crocheting. And I maybe didn't do the best job on this one. I mean, basically you're making the body and then you're going back in and crocheting on these pieces, these frills. And I found that really challenging. Maybe my tension was too tight. And so it was really hard to kind of get into the spaces where I wanted them, and I had to redo them to get them even on each side a couple times because the way my stitches landed, they just weren't even. But the finished product is pretty darn cute. And I know that they are super popular, so I might try another pattern or two and see if I like them better. If you guys have a pattern you recommend or that you really like for axolotls that's not too difficult, put it down below. I would like to try something else. for this. But I love these colors. I like this color combination. I think it's super adorable. I can see why people like it. So, all right, this, I made him a little too chunky, I think. This is the Triceratops pattern, and it is really cute. I mean, it is really cute. This is from, I think, Crochet Club. And this was way easier than I expected. The only thing you're sewing on, and you're not even really sewing them, you're kind of just inserting them, are these horns. And the thing with the horns, I did not get it in the pattern. I had a really hard time figuring out what they were aiming for because it's just like a stitch practically. I mean, there's very little to these, and I just wasn't seeing the vision. But when I put it together, I think it turned out cute. So I am a fan of this pattern. I'm gonna play around with it some more. I didn't do, you have the option to do the trim where you just kind of stitch in the lighter color trim all the way around the frill here. I didn't do that yet. I don't know if I will because I just think it's really cute. The little bobble stitch legs are super cute. I like dinosaurs. As it turns out, I didn't know. I like dinosaurs. So, all right, let's see. Oh, this was, I think, a free pattern on Instagram too. And it reminds me of Soul Cat from that Disney movie, Soul. And I thought this is that yarn I never know what to do with. This frosted yarn from Bernat that I like so much, but I have trouble picturing it on projects. But I think it looks really cute on the little Soul Cat. He's super sweet and super easy to make. I love the little ears. That was fun. So, all right, Soul Cat, he's a winner. Oh, I found another chicken. And let's see. Oh, this gator pattern. So I think this is cute. I put on some glitter eyes on him. This is cute. I think this might be well served by some thinner yarn, maybe a Parfait Chunky, because it's not a very big pattern, and so it loses some, I think, of the definition that it could have in the eyes and stuff because the yarn is so chunky. And I think it might be a little cuter with a smaller one. Also, the legs, I think I made them a little bit shorter. I felt like they were too long. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I have trouble figuring out which direction legs are supposed to go when they are like this. And I don't know if you can tell, but like this one's going this way and this one's going the other way. They're not perfect. So I need to play around with that a little bit and make it work. So I would love to figure out how to put Loki like horns on this guy because I think that would make it super fun. And I have some friends who really love Loki, so I think that would be a cute gift. So I have seen patterns that do include the Loki horns. This guy, I know I would have to use a thinner weight yarn to make that happen. So I might play around with that too. He might not be finished yet. Oh, these were a fish pattern on Etsy that I purchased. These little fishies, and I love them. There are some variations that I didn't do, like you don't have to do this frill, you can do a little tail instead, and there's different little fins you can do, and there's some color variations. I did some stripes, you could do color blocks, you could do a rainbow fish, which was really cute too, but I wanted to try and use some of this purple yarn, and I think they are adorable. It's not a pattern I see a ton of people make, but I think these are the cutest little fish, and they were so fun to make. It's a little bit different of a technique to get the little pointed nose here. On both of them, you can see the nose, the way it little points out is, and you make kind of an oval. This is where you start your stitches and then can keep continuing on in rounds. And putting that together was a learning experience, but a lot of fun. I had this purple Sweet Snuggles yarn and I made an octo out of it. I think I showed you guys on the part one, But I also made this from Rose and Lily on YouTube. She has the best tutorials for a beginner. I mean, she is just slow and steady, and her explanations are clear, and she shows you everything. And I really enjoy making her patterns. The original sea turtle I made, that pattern was from her, that tutorial. And she had a separate tutorial for how to add the sunflower petals on. But yeah, this is such a cool one. And so I wanted this to kind of curve. It doesn't, it was naturally, it stuck up. So I just ran some yarn as I finished this, the yarn that I tied off with. I just ran it down this side and gave it a nice little tug before finishing off, so that that has that natural curve to it. And that worked out really well. So this is cute. I don't know how popular stingrays are. Anyway, all from Jade. You guys, she's, you know, like the godmother of Amigurumi on social media, right? She makes amazing things. So I had seen this pattern early on in my crochet adventure, and I thought to myself, I'm never gonna be able to do that. And one day I thought, maybe. So I made this octopus, which I love, and it is mostly no-sew, honestly. You pretty much just crochet everything together. These little legs are all separate, and then you crochet them on. And underneath, it looks so cute. This little piece here that you pop out, and it's a little baby octo. And you can fit 2 in there. And they are just stinking adorable, this little octopus family. And so I bought the pattern bundle. It also comes with a daddy size that doesn't have babies inside, I believe. And it came with a bonus pumpkin mama pattern that I have not even looked at yet, honestly. But I think that would be fun too. So put them back in. This is the cutest thing ever. And so I also made it in yellow, and babies in yellow. And I have a couple other colors that I want to make it in. My son is obsessed with this. He keeps coming down and looking at them. Oh, and part of the pattern is that at the end you have to kind of sew together these spaces. So that is a little bit of sewing, but you're not sewing on the pieces. You're just, there's some natural holes that end up here as part of the pattern that you have to sew up. So I did not finish sewing up, I guess, some of them on this pattern yet. You can see there. So I have to go back, but my quality control guy, Andy, he is on top of this, and he knows, and he reminds me every couple of days that I still need to sew this up. So I will get that done. I will get that done very soon. So, all right. I also made this. This was a free bee pattern, and you might notice that, because Andy Shore reminds me that it's missing wings. And it's missing wings because I did not have the right size white. The only white I had was the Sweet Snuggles, the big Sweet Snuggles, and it just made the wings too big. This is done with Bernat. And so I do have some Bernat white now, Bernat baby white, that I'm gonna use to make the wings. But this is so cute. And the color changes are, you can see them here. I try to keep them on the bottom, but they're so much better than and easier than I expected them to be. He is a little pointy in the face. I've gotten better about not having those pointy cone shapes that I did in the beginning, but I do need to put wings on him. Super cute, a little bit of blush. I don't know if you can even see a little bit of blush. Oh, some yarn fuzz. My life is full of yarn fuzz now. There's yarn fuzz everywhere. Seriously, everywhere. But that's okay. All right, let's, a few more things. Oh, this one night, I'm like, I had this pretty yarn and I didn't know what to do with it. And so I made this awesome snake pattern and I love it. I love it. I'm gonna make more snakes. He is so cute. I didn't know how long to make it. It didn't really, Okay, it did. It specified it being pretty short, and I just kind of kept going until I got tired of it. But how cool is that head shape for a snake? And this is just a really fun. I really, really like it. I like the multicolor yarn for it. I found a whole bunch of others I think would make really cool snakes, and this was just fun. You just kind of kept going in circles as long as you wanted. So it was super therapeutic and zen-like to sit there all evening and just crochet my little heart out without even having to count or think about my stitches. So I love this one. I just love that one. All right, so I think I have three more things. Oh, 4 or 5. I have too many more things to show you. This one I am obsessed with. This was a free pattern. I'm gonna link it and show you up here. It's a spider. It is a spider, and it is so cute. Now the original pattern did not have 4 eyes. It only had 2 eyes. But I think spiders are both creepier and more interesting when you put more eyes on them. So I put it with 4 eyes. I did put the little blush on just to be adorable. And these legs are so fun to make. And they are no-sew, you just tie them in. So these little fangs are no-sew, you just crochet those in. So this is basically a no-sew pattern. And it was super fun to make. I can see these becoming something I really enjoy and make too many of. So, okay, oh, where's my other little? Okay, also these, I think these are from Cable and Canvas. These little mushroom poppers that pop up. So I just made this one to start with, this little popper. And I didn't even put eyes on it. I was just playing around with the pattern after I bought it. I bought the bundle pack that's got the 3 different minis. So I also made this jellyfish one. Same concept, little popper head jellyfish, which is so cute. So cute. And then there's a flower one that I haven't done yet, but I need to. So I'll get to work on that soon. But then my daughter really wanted one. She was playing with this one constantly, and she really wanted one to take to school with her. So I did make another one with little eyes. That is so cute. So this will be gone soon. She picked out the color she wanted. She's taking this back to college with her. It's a really fun fidget because it is completely silent too. So many fidgets are so much fun, but they're loud and annoying to your neighbors. But this one's silent and just fun to play with. I really like it. I'm gonna make a bunch of these. This one I did add some rounds. I felt like the stem was a little short on this one. So I did add another round with like 2 increases in it. So I think it's normally 12. I went up to 14 to add the last 2 rounds just to give it a little more substantial of a mushroom base. And I kind of like that. But you can, that's the beauty of crochet, is you can play around with it to your preference. So, or to what works with your tension. Because it might just be that my tension's different than the original designers. But I love it. All right, and oh, this one. Can you stand this one? I don't know what got into me when I'm like, that little bunny is the cutest. And I was super intimidated at the thought of having to put clothes on it. But I bought the pattern anyway. And it was not bad at all. This pattern, you start to make the pants here, and then you put them on and you finish crocheting it actually on the body, these overalls, which worked out really well for making sure you got it fitted right and got it on correctly. And then this hat, I think mine looks a little different than it is so cute. Mine looks a little different than the original designers because I don't know what I did. I don't know why mine I needed to roll up a little extra, and you can't really see as much of the facial detail. I think she had some facial detail on here, but I didn't add any because you couldn't see it anyway after I rolled it up. And for this, I just used felt here for these because you couldn't use safety eyes because you'd see the backs through the back because there's no place to put the stuffing inside. But this guy is so sweet. I'm gonna make it in different designs and colors. I think it'd be really cute. Little skirted. I'm sure she has more patterns and modifications. I just haven't looked. But this one's really adorable. I'm really proud of this one. I just think it's really sweet. So, all right. Moving on. Oh, two more. This one. A little baby Yoda or Grogu. I'm not sure which. This was so fun too. This one was easier than I expected it to be. I really like when they do noses like this, that it's just the same color and stitched. So it's kind of a subtle nose. I have a few projects that have had that lately that I really enjoy. This little cowl is just a separate piece. You can kind of see I can put my finger through there. It's just a separate piece, and then I just attached it and sewed it in the back. And other than that, it was super easy. It was really fun. I'm gonna make more of these, I think. This is quick. I think it took me half an hour maybe to make this, maybe 45 minutes. Not too bad. And it's just really stinking cute. I am sorry, my voice is not always like this. I have just been sick with a summer cold for like 2 weeks. Okay, so I have entered spooky season, and this little guy, this little bat pattern is so stinking adorable. I love it. My son, quality control, informs me that bats don't actually have arms. Their arms are part of their wings, but I explained to him about creativity and imagination and how sometimes we don't interpret things in reality. I mean, bats are also not made out of yarn, and they don't likely wear bow ties. But I think this one's really cute. This is a newer pattern. I will link it below, but he is so sweet. And I'm so excited to be starting to make spooky stuff. I have a couple other things that I've made in August that I did not include in this video, since this is just the first 3 months. So I will do everything I made in August at some point for you guys if you want to see. And that, I think, is everything I made in the first 3 months since I learned to crochet. It has been a journey that I am loving, and mostly loving watching everybody else and seeing what you guys make. I have been addicted to crochet YouTube and TikTok and all of it. Instagram, Reels. It is so much fun. So thank you guys for making this such a cool community to be in. Thanks to all these amazing designers. I love the challenge of trying new patterns constantly. And I cannot wait to bring you guys more. So I will be putting out videos from time to time. If there's anything specific you want to see, please let me know. And until then, have a great day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.